Wow. And it's good in certain ways that it is summers and not winters, right?
Yes, yes.
My goodness.
But it is too hot over here in East Coast.
Yes, that is also true. That's also true. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah. As if what we are going through is not enough, right? We get this feeling.
But the bad part is, Mataji, you are out of everything. No connection, no internet, no phone.
Right, right,
You
right.
cannot listen the lectures, or you cannot do only to read books.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna Mataji, Danat Pranam, all
Hare
Gosha
Krishna, Ishwari Radha Mataji, yeah, Danvat Pranam. I was just thinking that the good thing is that we will meet the East Coasters at least once a week.
Thank you for doing
For a very short time, yeah, for a short time because of a class that comes up and I can't excuse myself from the class all the time. My teachers are going to scold me. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shri
Danvat Pranam,
Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Dhanyavad Pranam.
Krishna, Priyanka. Okay, so do we have anybody? Okay, so we will go through Hare Krishna, Sadhana Mataji.
Hare
Good to see you here.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone.
So I was thinking that we'll wait for I hope one of our regular reading order makers are going to come up, but if not, then that's fine. At that time we will maybe create it. But in the interest of time, I just wanted to start reading the Vigyapti Panchika.
Yeah, Mataji, I can try making the reading order.
Okay, very good. So yeah, so towards the end only, just try doing that towards the end because number one, devotees might join, and number two, our regular makers might join. So let's see. All right. So what I'll ask you to check here real quickly is that if you can see the screen. Hopefully, I shared the right screen today.
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
For confirmation? Okay. So we'll just get started then with a short prayer to the spiritual master. Om Jnana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Matsamo nasti papatma na paradhi cha kaschana parihare pilajjame kim bhruve purushottama yuvatinam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvato yatha manobhi ramate tadvan mano me ramatam tvai bhumau skalita padanam bhumirevavalambanam tvai jata paradhanam Tvameva Sharanam Prabhu Govinda Vallabhe Radhe Radhaye Tvamaham Sada Twadiyam Niti Janatu Govindo Mam Tvaya Saha Radhe Vrindavanadhishe Karuna Vritavahini Kripaya Nidhi Padabhya Dasyam Mahyam Pradhiyatam. Okay, so whose turn is it to read? Now let's create a reading order. Can you, who had volunteered to create one for us? Priyanka. Okay.
Yes, Mataji, I'll do. I just got absorbed in the prayer.
Well, that's a good absorption. Okay, here we go.
I'm just pulling everyone.
Okay.
So as I see on my screen, I'll make.
Okay. Everybody read carefully, listen carefully.
So Sutapa Mataji, I'm also typing. Sutapa Mataji, Sadhana Mataji, and then Ishwari Radha Mataji, and then Garima Mataji.
Garima, you are in a position to read, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, very good.
And Soni Mataji. Or Mataji, should I call you Suruchi?
Sonia's fine. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay.
It's neither Soni nor
Sonia Mataji, and then Varshana Mataji. And then I will read. Did I skip anyone? Please let me know.
I think you got everybody.
Okay, and then Mataji, you are
I'll
after.
wait after you. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so why don't we get started?
Yes, Mataji. O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of young men take pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone. Hare Krishna.
Just as the ground is. Oh, I'm sorry, Mataji, you are next. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants. Hare Krishna.
Mataji pe, yeah. O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavan, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
Okay, so in the interest of time, I'm going to bring up the other one. And whose turn is it to read?
Mine, Mataji.
Okay, go ahead. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, the very first verse.
Yes.
And let's see.
Yeah, Mataji, can we read together with
All
you?
right. Okay. So we'll start with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay.
Whenever there's a verse that we are reciting, and in the beginning of the verse, if it says something like Sri Bhagavan Uvacha or Sanjay Uvacha, right, like that, or Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, we have to pronounce that. We have to read that, and then we go into the other verse, right? So we'll start with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmati Asyayato Navayanta Itartarasi Tini Brahma Hridaya Adikavye Mohoyanti Atsuraya Tejo Varimradam Yatha Vindayo Yatra Trisargo Masara Dhamna
Mrisha. Last word.
Mrisha. Sargo Mrisha.
Right.
Dhamna Sena Sada Nirasata Kuhukam Satyam Param Dhimahi.
There, we have got it down, most of it, right? This part, I've seen most of our devotees. Yeah, it is kuhakam. It is not kuhukam. It's not kuhukam. Okay. Swena, not swena. Okay.
Swena.
Yeah, this you pronounce correctly. This you didn't mistake, but I'm just generally. Okay. Synonyms. Who wants to grab the synonyms today?
Mataji, it is me.
Go for it, Rajana. Swena, not swena. Oh, why?
Oh my Lord.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh my Lord, Nama, offering my obeisances, Bhagavate, unto the personality of Godhead, Vasudevaya, unto Vasudev, the son of Vasudev, or Lord Shri Krishna, the primeval Lord, Janmadi, creation, sustenance, and destruction, Asya, of the manifested universes, Yata, from whom, Anvayat, directly, Itarata, indirectly, Cha, and Artheshu, purpose, Abhigya, fully cognizant, Swarat, fully independent, Tene, imparted, Brahma, the Vedic knowledge, Hrida, consciousness of the heart, Ya, one who, Adi Kavya, unto the original created being, Moyanti, are illusioned, Yat, about whom, Surya, great sages and demigods, Tejaha, fire,
Vari, water, Mradam, earth, Yatha, as much as, Vinimayo, action and reaction, Yat, whereupon, Trisarga, three modes of creation, creative faculties, Amarsha, almost factual, Dhamna, Mataji, Nita.
I want to go back and pronounce this word.
Yes, Mataji.
Mm-hmm.
Vinimayaha.
Mayaha. It's not Vinimayo. It is
Okay.
Vinimayo in the verse, right? So I want you to read
Yes.
with your eyes. I want you to read with your eyes and put your eyes again on this word. I just now told Sonia Mataji about this word.
Okay. Mrisha. Amrisha.
Amrisha, right? Very good. Okay, and not Amarsha. It's V, right? Okay.
Amrish.
Mrisha. Mrisha.
It's not Amrish. Also, I heard somebody say that.
No,
It's
no.
not no, I'm not telling you. Yeah, I heard some other sound there. It's not Amrish, the actor. It's Amrisha. It's Amrisha. Okay. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Dhamna again. Yeah.
Dhamna, along with all transcendental paraphernalia, Swain, self-sufficiently. Swain. Okay, Swaina, self-sufficiently. Sada, always, Nirashta, negation by absence.
This
Kuhakam,
one one more time. This one more time.
Kuhakam.
No, this one. This one.
Nirastha.
Give it a try.
Nirasht.
Okay.
Nirasht.
Anybody else wants to give it a try? What do you think it is?
Nirasta.
Yeah. So what's the difference?
Instead of sh, it is sa, and instead of ta, it is ta.
Yeah. रिश्ते होते ना रिश्ते, you know, रिश्ते में भी क्या होता है शायद, right? Yeah. Nirasta. Yeah. Put your eyes on it. Yeah. Put your eyes on it. Nirasta. Right? Okay.
Nirasta. Negation by absence. Kuhakam, illusion. Satyam, truth. Param, absolute. Dhimahi, I do meditate upon. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. ये जो रास्ता होता है ना, रास्ता, road, right? Vaishnavi ji?
Yes.
Rasta without that. Nirasta. Okay. Very good. Whose turn is it to read now?
Mataji, Aruni Mataji just joined. Aruni Mataji, would you like to read?
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, Hare Krishna. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire, or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth.
All right, very good. So we will we'll keep the the reflections towards the end. I'll just bring up the chapter of Bhagavad-gita and we'll start. So who is the next in line to read?
It's my turn, Mataji.
Okay, so let me just bring that up here. Okay, here.
Contents of the Gita summarized. Text 1. Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words. Text 2. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy.
Mataji, Shraddha Mataji, it's your turn.
Yeah. O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counteract with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship?
Text 5. It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Text 6. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we would not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. Hare Krishna.
Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and the soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. I can find no means to drive away the grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it, even if I were win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven.
Text 9. Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. Text 10. O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. Hare Krishna.
Is it my turn?
No, it's my turn, but you can take it.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, I wasn't
No,
sure.
no, I have to go. Just
Sorry?
you can take it. I can't take.
Okay, text 10, right? Is it text 10? O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst
It's
of...
text 11, Mataji.
Oh, sorry. Text 11. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Text 12. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
Text 13. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Text 14. O son of Kuntī, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and the disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, ocean of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed.
Hare Krishna. Text 15. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Text 16. Those who are seers of truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. Hare Krishna.
Aruni Mataji already read. Garima Mataji, are you in a position to read?
Yes, Mataji, I can read
Okay,
now.
you can read now in her turn.
Text 15, right, Mataji?
17.
17. That which pervades the entire body you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. Text 18.
The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata.
Khyati Mataji, can you read? Okay, Mataji, I will read. Text
19.
Yeah, text 19. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge, for the self slays not nor is slain. Text 20. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain.
Text 21. O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones.
Text 23. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Text 24. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither burned nor dried.
Okay, just give me a second. I need to have the clock up there. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. Hare Krishna.
It is said that the soul is invincible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. If, however, you think the soul of the symptom or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty aunt.
Text 27. One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Text 28. All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? Hare Krishna.
Text 29. Some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after looking about him, cannot understand him at all. Text 30. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being.
Text 31. Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there are no better engagements for you than fighting on religious principles, and so there is no need for hesitation. Text 32. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors for the heavenly planets.
Hare Krishna, text 33. If however you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sin for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. Text 34. People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. Hare Krishna.
Who comes after Varshana?
Aruni Mataji, it's your turn.
Oh, okay.
No, after
Text 35. The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant. Text 36. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you?
Text 37. O son of Kuntī, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. Text 38. Do thou fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing you shall never incur sin.
Haribol. Okay, so we did our Chad today, reading half of the verse. And who comes next? I won't read. Who is the next one?
Yes, Mataji, it's my turn.
Okay.
Ato va prapashishvargam jitva va vukshaya shamahim tashmad utistita kanteya yudhaya krita nishchayaha.
Hata, being killed. Va, either. Prapasyasi, you gain. Swargam, the heavenly kingdom. Jitva, by conquering. Va, or. Bokshayase, you enjoy. Mat, him, the world. Tasmat, therefore. Yutishta, get up. Kuntaya, or son of Kunti. Yudhaya, to fight. Krita, determined. Nishkaya, in certainty.
Yeah. So here C is never pronounced as a K, it's always a cha, right? So
Cha,
Nishchaya. Okay.
Nishchaya. Thank you.
Yeah. So whenever there's a letter with a Y and next to it, it becomes a little bit difficult for us to pronounce. So always break it down like into two. So this will be prap, and then the other one is syasi. Prap syasi. Right. Here also bhog, and then there's a sha here. Bhog shase. So yeah.
Mataji, can you repeat one more time that prapyashi?
Prap syasi.
Yes.
Syasi. Yeah. And then bhog shase. Okay. Okay, let's go there.
Translation. O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight.
All right, purport. Who gets this purport?
Even though there was no certainty of victory for Arjuna's side, he still had to fight for. Even being killed there, he could be elevated into the heavenly planets. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so time for a few minutes for reflection. So let's see what you have. On anything that we have read so far. Those of us who are watching us on the Facebook, which includes Shraddha-devi Dasi, Preeti Mazaji, Dilip Bhai Patel Prabhu, Achyuta Radhe, Raji Bansal Prabhu, Ruchi Verma, Mataji. Please do type your reflections, and I'll see if they arrive here on time. I'll pick them up. All right, so.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, I that line struck to me. It was from the translation of 1.1.1 that I don't know the exact, because after we read Gita, so I kind of lost my train of thought. But it was that this material world also, although it is not real or temporary or factual, but it's by mercy of the Lord, it appears to be real, or I don't know what was it, and I just want to go back and take a look at it if we have.
Yeah, I would say go back and look at it, and also I think it was my last lecture that P.T. Radhika had brought this question up, and then I had explained what that means, right?
Okay, then I'll listen to that.
Listen to that again, because I don't think you attended that part.
Right.
Yeah. So it says that, one is, they appear to be factual, although they are unreal. And then the question is like, oh, all along we have been talking about some things that are real. And so I do go there and I explain about that. But good, yeah. And Vidyavadhu Mataji had also, she listens, she can't attend when I have it in the evening, but she goes and listens to it and then shares her reflections with me. So she had also liked that part, and I had again clarified that also to her. So we'll go back in there, and there's something more, then we will, yeah. Okay, good. What else?
Tvameva Sharanam Prabhu.
Tvameva Sharanam Prabhu. Okay, good. What else?
I meditate upon him, Sri Krishna, who is the absolute truth.
Absolute truth, right? So what is the meaning of absolute truth? Why do we call him absolute truth? I mean,
There's
don't you
there is nothing beyond him, and both ways. You see, there's nothing beyond him, I should say. He is the only truth.
Mataji, can I tell something?
Yeah, please. I'm asking all of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Mataji, the absolute truth, what I understood that Krishna is the only truth, and other than that, everything is a lie, or maybe it's a reflection or it's a mirage. Like just today it is here, and tomorrow may not be here. So whatever may be the case, it's a material or anything. Means only the spiritual thing will be here. So that means that is the only truth.
That is the only truth. Yes, yes, very good. Yeah. So the Krishna is there before this world is created, before creation of even the spiritual planets. Before creation, Krishna is there. During creation, Krishna is there. And after, during maintenance, Krishna is there. And after destruction also, Krishna remains. He'll say that in the Chaturashloki Bhagavatam in the second canto. So when we understand absolute truth, that, past Krishna is there, present Krishna is there, future when all of us are gone, then also Krishna will remain there as the absolute truth. So that's why he was calling him as the absolute truth. Okay, good. What else? We have a couple of minutes. Yeah.
Mataji, I'd like to say
Mm-hmm.
that 1.1.1 reminds me so much of the Gayatri mantra.
Yes. Actually, it is
It's the
pointed out.
same, almost the same thing.
Almost the same. Yeah. And there are many Gayatri mantras, but it is in some places, people do point this out that there's the word dhimahi inside,
Dhimahi,
right? You
yeah.
meditate upon that. And we, from the famous Brahma Gayatri, Om Bhur Bhuva Saha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. So we talk about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Ma.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Abhigya and Swarat.
You like Abhigya and Swarat? Okay, good.
Krishna is fully cognizant, and Krishna is independent too.
And
Every other being
yeah.
is independent, is not independent.
He's not dependent on that. Very good point. And that kind of ties back again to the absolute truth, right? Because he exists before creation, so that makes him absolutely independent. Because we are dependent on Krishna creating us, right? So that dependency is there. And so for everything else that you see in this material world. Yeah. What else?
Hare Krishna, Ma. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
and the sound effects.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. That's why I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, so in today's verse, like Krishna is emphasizing the value of duty. And he's saying that, and in the purport, Srila Prabhupada emphasizes that, even if you're killed, you will reach the heavenly kingdom. So just do your duty. So I really like that part.
Very good. Okay. What else? Anything else? We have 2 minutes. Okay. So I think we'll go and do a little bit more of this in my next session. And so there's a little bit of, back and forth going on as to what's going to happen on Monday. There could be a slight change. So I don't know. When I know better, I'll tell you whether I will teach the Monday evening class or there's something else which will go on here at ISKCON Silicon Valley. We'll just see that. And then otherwise, if I don't teach on Monday, then I won't teach on Tuesday either because Janmashtami is going to happen at that time. That's a Janmashtami day. We'll just see how we handle Janmashtami, because there are lots of things that are being organized at ISKCON Silicon Valley, and I would rather have you attend that because it's a festival going on, right? So, and then Wednesday is Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. So there's going to be a program at ISKCON Silicon Valley, which all of you must participate and listen to Srila Prabhupada. People glorifying him. It's always a fantastic day. And then so I'm thinking that if all this goes through, then it'll be Thursday that the next lesson will be there. So either Monday or Thursday is when we'll meet again, and Monday evening or Thursday evening. And yeah, and I will continue with this I'll continue with 2.30. What is this number? 2.37.
37.
Yeah, and we'll have a little time to pick up 38 as well. So there's a lot more that I wanted to talk about in this particular verse here. Yeah. Any more reflection? We have a minute more to go, because I can be excused for 5 minutes from that other class.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yeah,
Okay.
please
Yeah,
go ahead.
okay. I might just take your questions and
Yeah.
not have time to answer that, but please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, this is not regarding what you just said. Actually, it's regarding that. How should we, we can participate online and everything, but what should we do practically at home on Janmashtami and Prabhupada Parents' Day? What should we do?
What should you do? Well, there are so many things that you can do. One is continue with your thing. You can chant an extra round for Srila Prabhupada. You can read from Srila Prabhupada Leela Amrita, like that. You can do things that are very dear to Srila Prabhupada, which is
Making kachori?
Book distribution, right? You can do that.
Yeah, and making kachori.
Yeah, you can make something very, favorite of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. There's a workshop coming up on how to make kachoris. If you go to ISKCON Silicon Valley website, they will teach you. They will.
Yeah, it's I think on that day of.
It's on Janmashtami. There you go. Yes, it's on Janmashtami. And one of our very dear devotees, Govinda Priya Mataji, is going to teach us. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Sutapa Mataji, you were saying something, and then after that, I'll have to begin.
Yeah, Mataji, I have a story to share, but we will do it next class because it's a bit long.
It's a long story. Okay, we'll wait for your story. And please remind me if I forget, right? By the time it's Thursday that you need to. Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank
for joining us. Yeah, for joining us here. And by the way, there has been a talk about duty also. Yeah. About duty also, and then Vidyavati is talking about enjoying both ways in both situations. That's very good. And welcome Namazi Mataji also on Facebook for joining us, and here on Zoom also. Thank you so much. I feel so good, today starting my day with all of you.
Same here, Mataji.